Alright, I'm going to start getting these planted out today. It's been a couple of days. You're actually going to see a video pop up before this one that was filmed while I was filming this one. It's been a busy couple of weeks. The nematodes, we have sprayed on it. Well, the weather was prime for that, and now we're moving on to our planting out. I've been hardening these off the last couple of days. I've got pickling cucumbers, regular cucumbers, they're burpless cucumbers, yellow squash, zucchini, and looks like my patty pan squash came up too. So I'm going to start transferring these out to where they're going to go in the garden really quick, and I'm going to bring you along. All of our tomatoes are also ready to go out. I think that's going to get tabled till later this week, probably more like this weekend, so I can just get it all done at one time. I need to collect a couple of things to plant, or that we put in the holes with the tomatoes. So those are going to be tabled for another day. I may actually try to get some of these flowers in the ground today also, but I'm going to start with the squash really quick. Hopefully you can hear me, but these are an heirloom pickling cucumber. I'm growing quite a bit of them this year to restock our pickles in our pantry, but we always grow them on our obelisk trellises that we built. I'll link the video somewhere in the corner here when we did these. They work so well for this. It is my favorite way to grow cucumbers. potato patch has been in for quite a while now. We started getting the straw laid on the rows. I need to finish, but I ran out of straw. So I got the 2 of the many rows done. But look how big these potatoes are getting. This next tray is mostly herbs. I've got some artichokes, dill, hyssop, lobella, lots of calendula, some yarrow and dill back there. I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff planted really quick, and then we can move on to some other stuff. Look at this asparagus that's popping up in here. This used to be one of our old asparagus beds, and then they kind of died out. At least I thought they did, so we planted other stuff, and then here they come. Just ignore the weeds. We also have horseradish right here. I've sown chamomile in just around here, and I'm waiting to see if it comes up. It was an older package, so I just liberally spread them through the bed. And then at the end I've got borage. See if I can pivot this. We've got basil right here that volunteered its services, so I think it's blue spice by the smell, but I could be wrong. And then I've got rhubarb stretching out behind me. I'm gonna do some spot weeding and then put some more herbs in here. When we plant our tomatoes, we always like to do it with some additives to the soil. Usually, we don't have a lot of tomato time this year, so we'll add that to my mix, but you could use that on your own. We have before, but usually we mix up some Epsom salt, bone meal, compost. If we have it, we'll mix some Tums in the mix. One more thing. What is it? Wood ash. We'll add some wood ash to the mix, and then we'll just add a little shovelful as we're planting our tomatoes. We've also added whole eggs before. You just crack it before you put it in the hole. Make sure you crack it, otherwise you're going to get a nasty surprise at the end of the season. But it always works really good, and we always have some really lovely tomatoes when we do it this mix. So we try to plant our tomato rows with like a color bleed, so each individual color bleeds into the next, and we've got reds and kind of pinky ones and oranges and yellows, purpley blues, and so we plant them kind of bleeding into the next one. So I think we've already organized these pretty well, so they're with their own color family. So I can just grab a tray and start planting that mix we just did. But if not, I can easily sort. I just finished getting the peppers in. We decided to plant them on the opposite side of our peas on these trellises, so as the peas die out and when it gets hot, the peppers will be right in the place to take over and have something to support them. Alright, it is time to start planting these out. I'm going to start with our cherries, I think, and then move into our larger tomatoes and see if I can find them. Okay, so they're towards the back, so I'm going to... of course, I situated the cherries at the back of these trays, so I'm going to have to set the camera down and grab them really quick. You're gonna have to excuse the noise. We've got a neighbor that's redoing their roof. But we're going to plant out these tomatoes. I decided instead of going with just cherries, I was gonna do this one of our yellow rows. So we're just gonna bleed varieties into the next. And then we will mark with our very big tags, I'll show you them in a second, where each variety starts with that. And I'm using our Farmer's Defense sleeves today. We love these. These are our signs. Dad made these a couple years ago, and each year we just repaint what we planted in the spot and then put these in at the foot of the plants. It looks so great. They're super cute, and they've held up really well. So in this row we're going to have persimmon tomatoes, Kellogg's breakfast tomato, San Marzano, we've got hillbilly, we've got pineapple, yellow pear, and from here we're going to bleed into our yellow oranges, so Mr. Stripey, Big Rainbow. I may actually put the pineapple towards that end of our rows just for the aesthetics of it. And then we'll move into another color as we continue through our garden. We've got like 4 or 5 rows of tomatoes to do. We plant our tomatoes quite close together, so on a 16-foot cattle panel I'll have 16 tomatoes. I'll link our video on how we plant our tomatoes up in the corner right now. Let's get started. Alright, I'm going to start with Kellogg's. I think this is actually my new favorite tomato. We grew them for the first time last year and they were fantastic. So this will be in our garden every single year from now on. Just going to organize these a little bit so I can get them all together. Because inevitably, I'm going to get everything planted and then realize I still have some of that variety that didn't make it in. And we plant really deep, so these, even though they're kind of floppy, I'm going to end up planting it down to like right there, or up to right there rather. And this will all root. It's going to help correct it and give it really nice strong roots. And it won't matter that it's a little bit floppy. Hillbilly. Pineapple. Yellow pear. I'm going to keep you over here. Usually I try to stick to like 3 or 4 of each variety. Went a little crazy on the Kellogg's, but that's okay. We can gift some friends our extras that we don't have room for. Or, you know, just put it in a garden bed. Whatever comes first, right? Pineapple, pineapple, yellow pear. Hillbilly is another one that's going to end up in our yellow-orange section, but I grabbed it now. Alright, I think we're all set to start planting, and I mixed up our brew of rabbit manure, Epsom salt, bone meal. It's got a little bit of tomato tone in it because I just had a touch of it. Some years we'll also add things like Tums or whatever for a little bit of a calcium boost. I don't have those readily available, and I'm not going to the store right now, so we're just going to get this done. Now you just want a little bit in each hole. And again, some years we'll also put a whole egg down in the hole. I'm not doing that this year. I don't have enough eggs. But when we have a ton available, we'll put them in. Ignore the little weeds. I'm going to come back and spot weed, but for now I just want to get these in the ground. Good. Forgot, I need to dig that deeper. And tomatoes are one of the plants that will root all the way up their stem, so you can plant them quite deep if you want to. And as I plant, I'm going to just pinch off the lower leaves that are touching the ground. There we go. First one's in. About a foot apart. If you don't want to watch me plant all these, feel free to fast forward. I totally get it. But if you want to watch, stick around. Already forgetting stuff. I put a couple of tablespoons maybe in there max. And that is not enough for this full garden bed of tomatoes, but I like to mix it in smaller batches. That way if I get called away, I don't have a ton of it just sitting about. We tried a lot of methods for growing tomatoes, and these cattle panels have really been our favorite for supporting them. We grow indeterminate tomatoes, so they get very tall. Unless the goats get out and clip them, then they do not get as tall. There we go. I'm going to come back later and mulch these to help keep the moisture in, but for right now, this is going to work. You're going to want to harden out your plants before you plant out. And I like to pick nice, cool, kind of cloudy weeks that may be getting lots of light rain to plant on. It just gives the plants a little bit more time to acclimate and adjust before the high heat and bright sunshine kick in. So we've got a couple of days in the 70s before we hit 88 again. So I'm trying to get the last of our garden plant out finished in the next couple of days. And if you're going to do irrigation, like a drip system or one of the sweating hoses, tomatoes are a great option to do that with because they don't really like their leaves wet. Welcome to Tennessee weather. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. The sun will come out, it'll start raining, it'll get breezy. You never know. It was not supposed to be sunny today, but look at it is. And Farmers Defense was kind enough to send us a pair of their sleeves to try out. These are the pair. I absolutely love the pattern, and so we've used them for pruning and all kinds of things. They're protect your skin from the sun, from cuts, just all kinds of things, and they are fantastic. I can't wait to use these when harvesting our squash and things, which are going to be wonderful for those plants that just leave you absolutely itchy. I also think they'd be fantastic for hiking and whatnot, and kayaking, which we got kayaks, so we're getting into that this year. Can't wait. We'll have to bring you along one of the days. But if you would like your own pair, they are fantastic, and I can't speak highly enough about them. I love them, and I am so looking forward to this year with them. So I will leave our link down in the description and our promo code so that you can get a discount. Check the description. I think I'm going with San Marzano next. What do you think? San Marzano or pineapple? Winston, is it lunchtime? I almost set the clock by him. Ooh, it's getting warm. Almost does this. You dress for cool, and then the sun comes out, and it is absolutely sweltering. Alright. San Marzanos are a lovely sauce-eating tomato. They're newer to us. I think this is our third year growing them. They're not my absolute favorite tomato, but they are fantastic for making sauce. They got great flavor. They're not as, what's the right word? Moist maybe, or wet. Like this Kellogg's is very much a very moist, juicy tomato, where the paste Marzanos are thicker and they'll create a thicker sauce. I still like mixing all my tomatoes for my sauce. It just creates an amazing flavor you can't find anywhere else. San Marzano. I don't know if you can hear it, but I've got a little fountain solar piece in our bird bath, and I just love the sound of bubbling water. It just makes me happy. Lots of earthworms in our beds, which I absolutely love to see. Alright, I've got room for about one more. I really need to move that T-post down here to hold this straight, but it'll wait. Okay, row run is in. I need to do some spot weeding on row 2, and then we're going to move over. Continuing my yellows over here. Probably going to start with persimmon, moving into yellow pear, and then finally pineapple. And if I've got room on the space, I'm also going to put Mr. Stripey and Big Rainbow, which are two of my favorite tomatoes also. I have a lot of favorites. I just looked up from planting, and these two are just traipsing through the garden to come see me. Winston could not figure out how to get out, so he's up there bawling. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get him a bottle. I'm going to get these two put back up. Then I'm going to get back to planting. Come on, Winston. Charlotte is out here with me somewhere. I just saw her and I'm not sure where she's going. Charlotte! She's probably hanging out with the babies. She loves the baby goats. As soon as we get little critters on the place, they are her responsibility and she must watch over them. Yeah, I think she's up there with them. I can hear Winston. I don't think we actually introduced Winston on the channel. I know we did on social media. He is our bottle baby for the season. Hey, girly. His mom, he's a twin, and his mom rejected him. And so a sweet friend called and asked if we would take him and bottle feed him. And of course, bottle babies are like my favorite thing about spring. So we said yes. So Winston is with us. He is just a precious little soul. And he's hanging out with our Nigerian babies. I ended up planting way more of the Kellogg's than I had initially meant to, but it's one of our favorite tomatoes. We use it a ton in sauces. It's a great size, it's a great flavor, and so I don't mind. If I have to, I'll figure out where to slide another arbor. I've got another cattle panel that I can use. So it'll work out just fine. You know where to, I'm always sitting these down and then forgetting where I sat it. We are making headway. I've got empty space on the shelf and lots of gaps where we've moved trays in and out. So I've got my last tray of yellows that are going out into the garden right now, sitting in a tray next to the row I'm on. I'm on row 3. We're going to be planting Mr. Stripey, Orange Accordion, Big Rainbow, and Hillbilly in this row. And then we're switching over to our bluey purple tomatoes / black. We're going to have Blue Beauty, Black Beauty, Indigo Blue, Midnight Snacker, Cherokee Purple, Blue Strawberry, I think I said Black Beauty already, Black Cream. There might be one I'm missing, but it's the only tags I see right this second. And then we'll move into our plethora of red tomatoes down here. I've got my holdover yellowy oranges to fill any gaps we might get sitting right here. And then we're also got these chocolate bumblebees that I gotta throw in somewhere. They're so cute. They come out with like this pearl coating when they're ripe, and it's just beautiful. So I gotta get all those in the ground still. Well, at least most of them. So let's get moving. Alright, so I'm finally onto the blue row. We've got a lot of carrots that reseeded themselves or went to seed and are going to bloom this year in this section, so I'm just going to trim back some of the lower branches so we can plant our tomatoes still in the spot. I'm going to start off with chocolate bumblebee here, and I need to go get my shovel with a bucket. So we've gone 3 rows of yellow. I'm on my 4th row. I'm going to do these 2 chocolate bumblebee, which are kind of in a color family all their own. don't have much like them. And then we're going to bleed into our blues, purples, and blacks before finishing off with reds. Alright, we're going to move into maybe an indigo blue, which is a cherry tomato. I try to break up things that look very similar so that they're easy to identify with. I'll just put that down. Actually, no. I'm changing my mind. Let's go with Black Beauty, then Black Currant and Blue Beauty. Yeah, I like that. Alright, I'm gonna hit pause so you don't have to watch me plant this entire row. That's the plan. Until I change it again. Alright, the neighbor started mowing, so I didn't film the last row that I did, but we did Red Rosa, Big Red, Woods Famous Brimmer, and I cannot for the life of me remember the other one right this second. But on this row we're going to do Abe Lincoln, Sweet Israel, Costaluta Florentino, Boxcar Willie, Sweet Israel, if I didn't already say that, and Goliath. So, we just got a really fun package in the mail. Live plants are always fun. Let's get this open. This going to be a fun addition to our collection of roses. This is a rose that's a Drift Peach. It's from Nature Hills Nursery. I'll put our affiliate link down below so you can check this out too. These roses are so beautiful. Let's see if I can get it out really quick. You know what? I'm just going to open it. Hey, there's a cut line.
Should have gone into the greenhouse more. You could hear the neighbor getting a new roof.
Welcome to real life, right? Wonderfully. This is one of the ground cover roses, so it's going to stay closer to the ground. And it's got these beautiful peachy orange blooms to it. This is going to be a really beautiful addition to the garden.
I think you get there.
The garden is pretty much planted. It's been about a week of planting on and off around the weather, and we are finally coming to an end. We've got a couple of odds and ends that still need to go underground, but this video is getting long and we got a new package. So we got our bee cups in the mail, and these are so cute. These are bee cups, and we're just gonna,
Thanks, Sky.
well, when Sky moves, there, just lay there. We're just going to sit these in the garden and we'll fill them up every morning, and bees and other pollinators can drink from them without drowning. And they're made out of resin from this sweet little company. My friend over at Hope and Wildflowers suggested these. So we went ahead and grabbed some. They are painted with a UV paint that makes them look like real flowers to the bees. So these are going to be a fantastic addition to our garden this year, and even our bee yard. So really excited to have these. Alright, thank you so much for joining us for our garden plans out this year. Make sure you drop down into the description for all the links and products that we used, and we'll see you next time.